Thank you so much, Melikaya, with the SciTech news. And if you loved those, you're going to love next week, Wednesday, when he brings back more of those news right here on Ekse_live. That's who we are on Twitter. On Facebook, it's Ekse on Cape Town TV. Well, right now, we are joined by one of the few stem cell reprogramming experts in the country. She is also a CSIR researcher and a PhD scholar at the University of Cape Town. Her name is Dimakatso Gumede. Good afternoon to you, lady. How are you?
Hi, how are you? And thank you for having me.
Thank you. How's Pretoria? We're a little bit cold in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Oh, it's warm.
So jealous.
I'm like, what are that warm? Okay, first things first, hey, let's get into the first question. Tell me, can you break down for us stem cell reproduction, and how does it work, and where is it practiced?
Okay, stem cell reprogramming is actually a technique that was pioneered by a Japanese group. So what they did is to actually create pluripotent, and pluripotent meaning that they can become cells of any type in the body. They took adult skin cells and turned them back into embryonic-like cells that can become any cell type in the body using these specific factors that actually turned back the clock in a way of adult cells back into embryonic-like cells.
Cool stuff. Dimakatso, I understand that yesterday you had a media briefing talking about the stem cell reproduction. What was that about, and how was it?
Well, before we go into the reproduction, it's reprogramming, because we are sort of changing slightly a little bit the genetics of that stems of the adult cells. So we're kind of taking them back and reverting them back into that naive embryonic state. And the media briefing was really about sharing the work that we're doing and how we are using the stem cell platform here at the CSIR to test the different drugs that appear to cause adverse drug effects, especially in the African population due to the genetic diversity that the African individuals have.
So how did you guys come up with all this groundbreaking research? Where did it really all start?
Oh, wow. Firstly, for me, it started when I started my PhD at UCT in the Human Biology Department under the supervision of Professor Susan Kitson and Dr. Robia Ballo. So they are the ones who actually helped in the project where we're looking at a rare genetic disorder that causes skin fibrosis and lung fibrosis, and that is the poor wound healing process that occurs. So I actually applied the stem cell platform in my project, and I mean, we are very few people in the country. So UCT is one of the leading institutions with regards to stem cell reprogramming anyway. And the CSIR also came in to establish that with the help of Dr. Janine Schofield, who's my current supervisor.
A very fun fact about you is that you are able to communicate your work fluently in isiZulu as well as in Sesotho. Tell me, what is the importance of scientists being able to communicate their work in their native languages?
That's very, very important, because, I mean, when you come to the history of our country, many of our, especially the young Black females, you know, and not just the females, but just young Black people, they're not very fluent, and they're not probably taught their science in their native language.
Yeah.
And can you imagine if they were taught science in their native tongue, as much as it's done in Europe, you know, I mean, science is taught in French, science is taught in German, but it's not taught in our African languages. So there is a bit of a loss in translation when you try to explain the science to someone who speaks isiZulu or Setswana kapa Sesotho. But with having grown and being born here in Johannesburg, that gave me the advantage, and having to do Sesotho as a first language in my high school also gave that advantage.
So how do you say stem cell reprogramming expert in Sesotho? Can you say that?
Well, gato hore ke motho kapa motho o tsebang thata ka stem cell reprogramming.
Man! I was just pulling your leg. I wanted you to mess that up. Oh my goodness.
I would high five you if you were Yeah. Speaking about different languages, right? What is your core message that you would leave for the young ones or myself and Llama today?
What I want to say firstly is that science is fun. So you must love science. I think it's very important for young people to do the or follow the careers that they are passionate about, because definitely passion will make you propel forward and to keep enjoying what you're doing, that it doesn't become just a burden of where you wake up in the morning and you just go to work to do something that you don't love. So definitely passion is one of them, but also you don't have to always be the smartest person in the room to enter into the science stream or the STEM field, as we call it. That's any young woman, black or white or whatever, you can do science. You don't have, and don't be intimidated by the intelligent ones, because I mean there's a different level of growth and understanding and intelligence, but if you have hard work and if you use your tenacity, if you persevere in your own field, then I think those are recipes for success.
The late Professor Bongani Mayosi, may his soul rest in peace, the former Dean of the Faculty of Health Science at the University of Cape Town, played a profound role in steering the direction of your research. Tell us more about that, Dimakatso.
Wow, when I started my PhD, I joined the Mayosi group, the cardiogenetics group that is based at the HETA Institute for Cardiovascular Research in Africa, and that is at the Health Sciences Faculty at UCT. And I started my project in the cardiogenetics, where we're looking at the different mutations that cause sudden cardiac death, particularly in young athletes. But because of my cellular biology background, there was also a project that was still standing and hadn't moved forward, if so to speak. And that's when he said, you know what, you're a cell biologist, how about we do this project? And that's the project that actually gave me the experience of stem cell reprogramming.
What sort of change are you hoping to bring in this country? And how are you going to use your PhD to advance stem cell reprogramming?
Firstly, I think it needs to grow in our country. We cannot only be the few people who do it. It should be taught to all the people who are doing cellular biology, I think. And although it's a lot of work, but it opens the platform to study different types of diseases, especially the rare genetic diseases, and particularly diseases of the African continent. There's still so much that still needs to be uncovered in some of the conditions that affect our African people. So I think the stem cell work will definitely be a platform that can be used vigorously and can produce high-scale findings that will progress and accelerate discoveries in science.
Dimakatso, you're one of the few experts in your field. Who did you look up to? Who held your hand and said, girl, this is possible, this can be done? You're one of those people that can pioneer in this field.
I had good mentors, I have to say, but Professor Bongani Mayosi was one of them. And they taught me, in particularly him, he taught me that anything is possible. If there's a problem, we can try and solve it. And whenever I was in a meeting with him, I mean, I would come out ready to do the work. That's how inspiring he was, you know. And with my other supervisors, particularly both Dr. Robia Balo and Professor Sukitson, they taught me to love learning, to always ask questions, and that helps because that's what science is all about, asking those questions and covering those undiscovered things, you know, and that really just, they made it fun for me to enjoy learning and to continue studying.
Those are the most important voices that one needs to hear so that they can proceed and follow their dreams. Now, there are young people who are very scared of following the path of the sciences, the technologies, mathematics and science and stuff like that. If you were to use your voice as Dimakatso Gumede, what would you say to that young black girl who's sitting at home, who's worried? Amy, like, people are really, really scared of sciences. Your voice, how would you use it to encourage young children, young black females to say?
May I add? Would you actually also consider to mentor one of them as well?
But first, what would you say?
Yes.
To encourage them?
First, I would say science needs you. We need more of you in science. And don't be intimidated by the, the, the lessons or the subjects themselves. It just needs the patience, it just needs that time to learn. You must be willing to learn and love learning. And there will always be people, and as you said, mentoring, that is very, very important. And that's what we want to do as well. And that's what I also aim to do, especially with what we do at the CSIR to teach in the universities, but to also mentor young people to say, you can do science. And don't be intimidated. Just enjoy the subject, just enjoy learning and being curious. And hard work. Hard work is all about hard work.
That's amazing. You know what, eh? That is inspiration right there.
Of course.
There's nothing else I can say. It's hardcore inspiration. To anyone out there that really wants to actually be part or know or even research, do it. Do your best and do science everywhere, because science is everywhere, you know?
Yeah, Dimakatso, how do they get hold of you on social media, just in case they want a few pointers from you?
Sure, I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle, as they say, is
Yes.
Katso, KATSO_G.
Okay.
And I'm also on Instagram, same username, which is Katso_G.
Thank you so much for your time. Maybe perhaps your colleagues now want to use the boardroom, so let's not keep you any longer. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for chatting with us. All right.
Bye.
All right, you guys, that was Dimakatso Gumede, who is a CSIR expert. We'll be right back right here on Ekse. It's a SciTech Wednesday. My name is Llama. She is
Miss
Amy
Amy
Meyer. Keep it locked right here on channel 263. We'll be right back. Don't go too far.